Christmas, little fella?
It's Santa Claus. And it's Elf.
We're not gonna hurt you.
No. Got some nice presents for you.
Oh, that never gets old. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance on Christmas Eve. So I was thinking about making a video about Meet Kevin, but then I saw this amazing video by Everything Money that is full of misinformation and very bad and hypocritical investment advice. Now, if you don't know who Everything Money is, they're a finance YouTube channel. They have 215,000 subscribers. And they claim to be value investors. Now, what is a value investor? Well, it's somebody that understands the intrinsic value of a stock and doesn't worry about short-term market fluctuations and buys stocks below their intrinsic value and holds them either till they go back to their intrinsic value or in some cases forever, like Warren Buffett. That's what these guys claim to be. What are they in reality? They're day trading clowns. And most recently, they've had a new grift coming on. Their new grift is to put out videos about popular exchange-traded funds, which are diversified passive investments, in order to lure people in order to convince them to buy their software. Because with their software, it allows you to analyze individual stocks simply by looking at the financial statements without any other context. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very dangerous. So let's go ahead and react to this recent video. These ETFs beat mutual funds. Now, I love ETFs. I love mutual funds as long as they're indexed, okay? But when you say these ETFs beat mutual funds, it gets me interested. What are you talking about? I mean, an ETF can be actively managed. An ETF can be passively managed. A mutual fund can be actively managed. A mutual fund can be passively managed. What are you talking about, Paul Gabriel? Well, let's find out watching this video, and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts about this clown, and it ain't going to be pretty.
You have a multi-million-dollar decision on the line, whether you realize it or not. In this video, we're going to break down the difference between ETFs and mutual funds, ultimately determining which is the best for your portfolio. Okay, first off, let's get into some basics. An ETF, which is an exchange-traded fund, is a collection of stocks that you can trade in your IRA brokerage account just like you would a stock. An ETF can allow you to follow an index like the S&P 500, a company size, or a particular sector or industry. Now, on the other hand, a mutual fund, even though it's also a collection of stocks, is actively managed by a fund manager. And
that is very, very, very false. All a mutual fund is a bunch of people pull their money together, hand it over to a manager who can be a manager of a passive fund. You still need somebody watching your passive fund. And that manager manages the funds according to the fund's investment objectives. You can have active mutual funds and you can have passive mutual funds. This is factually incorrect. And I can tell you, I own several mutual funds. And guess what? They're all passively managed. That's interesting.
You cannot trade it throughout the day like an ETF. Mutual fund settles at the end of the day, and that's when you make your purchase. So apart from that, what is the difference between these two? In most ETFs,
and I just want to make another comment here. So I talk about VT. VT is an ETF. It trades throughout the day. VT Wax, like earwax, VT Wax is the VT equivalent mutual fund. It tracks the total market. It's an index mutual fund. It tracks the total market. I personally, I think for somebody that is tempted to trade, you probably may want to consider not even buying ETFs at all and just buying mutual funds. The reason I've liked mutual funds until recently is that mutual funds, they allow you to automatically invest. I can set up an automatic contribution to my mutual fund because it goes in there and it settles at the end of the day. Until very recently, it was hard to automatically invest with ETFs because you have to put money in your brokerage. And then you gotta, during the trading day, you have to, or at least set an order. You have to set an order. You have to buy it during the trading day, which is a pain in the butt. With a mutual fund, I literally just set up an automatic contribution. I don't even have to think about it. It just goes in. Okay, there's some convenience in there. Apparently, Fidelity now you can do auto investing with ETFs. I haven't even looked into that yet, but something I'll consider. But that's why for a lot of people, it may even be good to avoid ETFs altogether. Now, Jack Bogle was against ETFs, and I actually agree with him to an extent because if you look at the data behind ETFs, people trade them. They don't hold them long run. Even like S&P 500 ETFs, you would think people would hold those. They don't. They just trade them. There's a lot less trading with mutual funds because they don't change value during the day. Go look up your mutual fund during the day and see if it trades. It doesn't, okay? And that helps a lot of people hold on to their investments long run, which is a very important behavioral component. But whatever, we'll keep watching.
ETFs, at least the ones you should be investing in, they are passively managed. The holdings of the fund only change in accordance with...
And okay, read this. ETFs can be actively or passively managed. Okay. Mutual funds can be both active and indexed. So why are ETFs better, Paul?
The sector or index that it follows. For example, if the companies in the S&P 500 were to change, the holdings of the Vanguard 500 Index Fund ETF, which is also VOO, will also change accordingly. Now, there are some ETFs that do have actively managed managers, something as famous as ARK by Cathie Wood. There are two major benefits to ETFs. First, it's just a lot less work for you. You can rest easy at night knowing that the person in charge will automatically follow the index or sector and...
It isn't less work. I would actually say it's more work because I can set up an audit. Like my 401k has mutual funds. It just comes out of my paycheck. When I was buying VT-Wax, when I didn't have a 401k at my last job, I would just automatically contribute to VT-Wax with an auto deduction. It's more convenient buying mutual funds than it is buying ETFs.
Make the appropriate changes for you without you lifting a finger. This also leads to the second major benefit. These funds have extremely low expense ratios, well less than the typical 1% or so that mutual funds have. Why?
You know, funny, I was looking at VT-Wax earlier, and it has a 0.1% expense ratio. And if we go to look at VT-Sax, which is the, let me go look that up. That's Vanguard's S&P 5, no, total market index. VT-Sax, I don't buy it, so I don't remember. It has a 0.04% expense ratio. So it's 0.01% more expensive than the ETF equivalent, and you can automatically invest in it. And you're less tempted to trade it. I don't know. Oh, 1%, huh?
There are no marketing fees. There are a lot less marketing fees. You don't have to pay a bunch of analysts and researchers to go out there and spin their wheels, trying to justify their expenses, and therefore trying to get higher returns, which you're doing with your organization.
Isn't it ironic? Like he roasts active management, and then he wants you to actively manage your portfolio, and he wants you to pay you He wants you to pay him $30 a month or $80 a month to day trade. It's so hypocritical. Like it's an obvious grift. It's an obvious cash grab.
come to pass. Now, this comes in stark contrast to a mutual fund, which obviously charges the higher fees because of the fund manager, and you have expenses with getting in and out of stocks. Where the problem lies is that more often than
Man, it sounds like I shouldn't trade stocks. Like, you want me to? Okay.
not, mutual funds do not beat the market. And you're paying higher fees for something that doesn't even match the market. And this could lead to millions lost in retirement. Now, you might be confused, thinking to yourself, wait, these are smart Harvard MBAs managing it. They're doing their research. Guys, they're still humans. They still have careers they need to protect. And that's what causes people to make mistakes.
But the Harvard MBAs underperform in the long run. But you, as the smart retail investor, little chunky loser, who has a full-time job and has kids and other obligations, you're also going to have time to pick stocks, and you're going to beat the market, unlike those Harvard MBAs, right? Oh, the grift. I've never seen a grift more obvious. Like, it's like you look up at the sky, and somebody asks you, what color is the sky? And it's a bright blue day, and you're like, it's blue. That's how it's obvious. Like, I mean, how much clearer does it need to be? How many fingers am I holding up? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in one thumb. It's obvious. Okay. It's such a scam.
In any given year, 82% of actively managed mutual funds do not beat the S&P. And over a 10-year period, it's 2 or 3%. So,
but you will. Buy scores.
Why pay all these fees to even underperform the market? Okay, guys, in our retirement calculator, I've put some inputs in here. First off, I'm going to assume your age is 30. Second, you're going to retire at 65. Third, your current savings at $100,000. You're going to save an extra $10,000 per year in one of your accounts, whether it's IRA.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm 34. I'll retire at 65 is reasonable. I'll probably work forever. Current savings a lot more than that. Annual savings a lot more than that. Let's see how rich I'm going to be.
A 401k, separate brokerage, and you're going to increase that by 4% per year. During that time, you're going to get 9.5% annualized returns. The market tends to get 9 to 10% over long periods of time. So I'm assuming 9.5%.
Historically, it did. You know what the future returns are going to be in the market? Nobody knows what they're going to be. That's why you need to save as much as possible.
At low-cost ETF. During retirement, at the age of 65, you're going to get about 6% return, and I'm going to have you dying at 100. And the reason we do this is so many retirement calculators stop at retirement. But you got to remember, you have 20 or 30 years more to live after you retire. You need to make sure your money can last. Just having $2 million isn't enough if you're spending a lot. And finally, your current income is $75,000 per year. Again, assumptions, and I want you to live up that same amount of money. Now, in retirement, it'll factor in $75,000 a year, adjusted for inflation over the next 35 years in our retirement calculator. We hit the generate button. Do you have enough in retirement? Yes. In this end balance right here, at 65 years old, you have $6.6 million, which in today's...
I don't know. That seems like too much to me. Like, sometimes I look at my portfolio and I'm like, am I really going to have $6 million? Is this really true? I really doubt future returns are going to be 9.5%. I would love if they were, but I don't know. I just have these doubts. So I'm saving like freaking crazy. And I plan to work even part-time in retirement. I'll also be making grift YouTube videos, but I'll never stop working permanently because I think a lot of people are really overestimating what their future returns are going to be. And that's how disaster strikes.
His money is worth about $2 million. You're withdrawing about $260,000 a year. And when you pass away at 100, you're going to have about $6 million left over. That's absolutely incredible. Now, I want to show you guys the scary part. Let's take out, instead of 9.5%, you're going to underperform by, call it, 0.5% per year, and you're going to be charged 1% per year. So you're losing 1.5% per year to an actively managed mutual fund. I'm going to put in 8% here. And during retirement, you're still going to stay in those funds. I'm only going to go 5% here. Generate. You do not have enough in retirement. You went from having enough to now you need to save $7,600 more, which is 76% more. Instead of having $6.7 million in retirement, you have 4.5. So it costs you over $2 million, and you're flat broke at the age of 86. That is the difference between an ETF that can match the market and potentially losing out by investing with an actively trading manager.
Okay, first of all, like I said, it's funny because their whole channel is about picking stocks, and now he's shilling the index as the way to go. But definitely sign up for his stuff, by the way. It's so stupid. And then second of all, that calculator is very inflexible. I think it's a very scripted calculator. Like, no matter what, you're going to withdraw this much in retirement. If you have 2 million of today's dollars in retirement, as long as you're not stupid, you're not going to run out of money, even if you have a lower rate of return. If you get $2 million, of course, people are going to adjust their spending as their portfolio starts to dwindle. I mean, the calculator, I think it is useful for when you get to retirement, but how the calculator is structured, how it's like, you're going to withdraw this amount, and then this amount, and this amount, it doesn't work like that. And it shouldn't work like that because obviously you're not going to be withdrawing a fixed amount if you see your portfolio declining too fast. So that's something to keep in mind.
That's not going to do as good a job. Ultimately, the key with buy and hold long-term investing is to stay in and avoid trying to time the market or trying to figure out what the next best thing is.
I just don't understand how he can say this with a straight face. That's the point of his channel. He's telling you in other videos, he talks about good times to buy and bad times to buy. And he talks about individual stocks. It makes no sense. It is so, the people are so stupid watching this. They don't see the hypocrisy.
You saw the numbers. They are off the charts. So to recap, history has shown that the vast majority of mutual funds will not outperform the S&P 500.
False. A mutual fund can track the S&P 500.
And the insane fees make it even less of an investment.
Index mutual funds don't have insane fees.
Put money into an S&P 500 ETF with a low expense ratio every month in your IRA.
Well, okay. So, and then on top of that, I mean, I'm a VT shill. Why is he recommending the S&P 500? Well, the big ones out there are VOO. Well, we'll just say the S&P 500, U.S. total market, and global total market. Those are kind of like, in my mind, the three big ones that people love because U.S. stocks down. The reason he shills VOO is because out of those three, VOO has done the best. So he's literally just shilling the one that went up the most in the last decade or so, which is just performance chasing clownery. And if you buy an ETF, you'll be tempted to trade it. You will be tempted more to trade an ETF, then you will, because you can see, like, you can check your ETF during the day. If you have a mutual fund, you can't check that till the end of the day. I mean, you can, but you're not going to see any price fluctuations. So ETFs, like if you have a very strong conviction in your investments, like I do with BT my ET, I'll never sell it. And it has a slightly lower expense ratio than BT Wax. But at the same time, if you don't have a lot of self-control, it's a lot easier to trade an ETF than it is to trade a mutual fund.
IRA, 401k, or brokerage account, and watch it compound into millions of dollars in your retirement savings. Want to know which ETF to invest in? Click here. Thanks, guys.
Oh, which one to buy? Well, the one that went up the most, of course. Very easy. All right, let's do some comments. God, these freaking people, man. Like, at this point, it's just comedy. I don't even get mad about it. Who else is... Hold on a second. Shut up. Who else is blocked? I'm definitely blocked by EM. How inconvenient. I think EM harms more people than Jeremy does. Wish we could see actual... I would not say that. Jeremy caused massive harm because, like, the majority of people were interested in stocks during the pandemic. Why were they interested in stocks? Because they went up a lot and they had a lot of money to spend. And Jeremy was King Daddy during that time. And meet Skinner, meet Stroker, and all the other clowns. Everything money was a little bit smaller back then, and they were at least talking a little bit more reason, which is why I liked them more back in the day. Now, going into the future, yes, it's highly possible that everything money will harm more people. Everything inherited, back at it again. I only buy Ryu. Yeah, it's a great ETF. So basically, I'm a fund manager. You give me your money. I invest the money in VT, and I charge you a 0.5% expense ratio. But I use 1% of the portfolio for fun. So it's actually a better ETF, of course. Let's see. I don't have the stats for this, but some have argued that commissions are beneficial because it discourages trading. Maybe this has merit. I mean, yeah, if you can't control yourself, okay, commissions are great because they prevent you from trading. But you know what's even better is not having commissions and not trading. Like, I don't know why this is so hard for people. I have a mutual fund. I have the VTTSX. It's a Vanguard Target Retirement Fund. I started buying that like 2014 in a taxable account, and I've just left it there. Like, it just sits there. It doesn't do anything, and I have no reason to touch it. Like, why are people so tempted to screw around with their investments? I don't understand. It's like, just leave it alone, man. Just buy it and hold it forever. Oh, but I'm smart. I watched Jim Cramer. Liberal arts majors are great at repeating definitions and completely missing the point. I love liberal arts majors. They're very good for our economy. Let's see. I stopped watching EM since 2022 or late 2021 when Strongman was beefing with EM. Yeah, they pissed me off. They got rid of Seth, which pissed me off. And then they basically called me a clown when I actually promote real good investment strategies that will actually help you build wealth, which ironically is what that video was about, right? And, of course, I'm a clown because they buy individual stocks. They charge you for it, and they underperform the market. The strong man doesn't wear a shirt. I can't believe that full slow-mo has the audacity to call himself an investment educator when he can't even read a statement of cash flows. It's easy, bro. Accounting is worthless. I need to be a grifter, dude. I'll just read financial statements of large cap tech and everybody will love me. Let's see. Man, only 10,000 to speak to them about real estate. What a deal. Oh my God. Never give anybody, well, you can give me 10 grand. Never give somebody $10,000 for anything. Unless it's to like buy mutual funds on your behalf. Capitalism. A fool and his money will. There's very great sides to capitalism, and there's dark sides to capitalism. And everything money, they definitely represent the darker side of capitalism, but you also get good sides of capitalism. Whereas socialism, I hate. After working for the government, I despise communists and socialists more than ever. Except the CCP, of course, because they pay me a lot of money. Just kidding. Let's see. Paul has the most annoying voice in the world. The dude screams, "I am a soy," but he's very soy, dude. You think he's masked? You think a woman looks at Paul Gabriel and says, "I want him to slay me"? Do you think any woman in the world looks at Paul Gabriel and says, "I want him to pin me down," and I won't even say that, but it's like, no, I know every woman in the world looks at me like that. I'm like, "Oh, Strong, you have a YouTube channel? Oh my God, you're so hot. Oh, impregnate me." That doesn't happen with Paul Gabriel. The irony of a spoiled, arrogant trust fund baby brat giving people money advice. Well, even if I lose all my money in stocks, I have real estate, which you guys have that too, right? Yeah. There was a vid from a year ago of him calling remote workers lazy. The audacity. Come into work. I need to see you working. Doesn't matter if you get all your stuff done. Paul is on that. Oh, no, he's not. Yeah, he's so attractive. If I had the power to shut down a YouTuber, EM or Lafufu, I can only pick one. Oh, definitely Jeremy, dude. Jeremy's like, he's just evil, man. But then again, if Jeremy was gone, how would I have fun? Like, I would say 50% of my pleasure from YouTube comes from making fun of Jeremy. I love it. He's such a clown. At least Lafufu is entertaining. He's entertaining because he's stupid. Like, it's just, it's funny. Let's see. Everything money should be called cringe money. Yeah, somebody needs to hack their channel and change their name. EM is boring. They are boring. I stopped watching them a long time ago. Like, it's the same video over and over and over again. You know, at least I try to be funny in my videos. You know, even if I talk about a similar subject, to them it's like, here's the stock, here's the balance sheets, which I can't read. Here's the discounted cash flow. Buy the stock, buy my course, bro. That's basically it every time. You won't have the physical health to work during. I actually will. You know why? Because you don't think when I'm retired, I'm 34 right now. When I'm 65, you don't think I can do remote work? I can sit on my fat old butt and make YouTube videos. I can do like 2 tax returns and make side money. Like you can still work depending on your career field. I have no doubt in my mind I can work if I want to. Like part-time when I'm older, especially with taxes. Of course, easy. And YouTube? Oh, YouTube's really hard. Oh, yeah, stressful. Sitting here drinking a beer. I stopped watching EM mostly because Paul repeats the same things again and again, and they're talking now just putting stuff into their pumping. Put your emergency savings in watches, bro. God. Even I massively outperformed the S&P over 3 years in that clown stock E-Trade account. Going back and forth with that and NASDAQ 100, though. Well, I got my opinions on the NASDAQ 100, but it did go up a lot. I still want to know what dirt Lafufu has on small Gabriella. Well, Paul's a bussy. Like he'll talk trash about somebody, but if he sees you face to face, like imagine if me and Paul met face to face. I'm like 5'10", 240 pounds, muscular. Paul Gabriel's like 5'2", 100 pounds, soaking wet. You imagine me and him met in person. He'd be like, "Oh, hey, Soundman, yeah, I actually like your channel, yeah." Let's see. If Paul wasn't so arrogant and scammy, I'd like he'd get as much. But the arrogance of this guy to charge for BS, call a CPA JV, and call himself LeBron James is crazy. He wears a shirt, bro. He's better than me. Let's see. A real why. I'm 18 in the Air Force and buy VTI and SCHD. Am I wrong? I mean, I'm happy you're investing. You should maybe look into your thrift savings plan, because your thrift savings plan is a tax advantage account and they have pretty good investments in there. So I would consider looking into your thrift savings plan. But I mean, if you're buying those in an IRA, great. I'm not going to dump on you, but I would go read bogleheads.org and then look at your thrift savings plan. If you're buying those in Robinhood, there's better options out there. All right, let's see. Don't follow him. Yep, they're clowns. I have a grifting plan to make a viral video selling a top performing stock list for only $1. You should do it, man. Just grift, bro. Just grift. Get that money. Well, don't forget that Mo is probably smarter than you because he's a dumb person. Like, he's not intelligent. I'm not just saying that to be a jerk. He's stupid. People don't need $20 million in their retirement, multiple six figures. Plus, I see many retired people. Yeah, dude. I mean, people, Social Security is going away. No, it's not. Okay, it's going to be there. You're going to have Social Security. You're going to have your retirement savings. Maybe you got another pension. If I stop being lazy, I can get a military pension. Like, I could stop investing right now and probably be fine in retirement. That's against my nature. I like to invest, but I could probably stop investing right now and be perfectly fine. And most people, then you don't need $20 million to retire. And if you don't have a lot of money, well, guess what? You just have to live a little bit leaner or work longer. That's just a fact. Let's see. If I give you a $50 super chat, if I pay through $50 super chat, will you do a stock review of PaySafe? Sure. Fine. Well, of course, you could send, I don't know why my brain's slow right now. 4501. If you so choose. I might even do it tonight. What time is it? 9:12. Sure. Whatever. Well, I guess I have to hang on now so I get my super chat. Let's see. CCP is the actual Chinese Capitalist Party. Yeah. Keep paying me, please. If you did a quick Google search of Jeremy's picks and still followed his not financial advice, deserves to be broke and should stop eating paint and sniffing glue. People are still watching him, man. It's crazy. Let's see. Small Gabriel gives a coal company a 20 PE by my coal. I don't know. I don't like commodities, man. It's just trading, basically. 5% of my TSP CNS fund, VTI. I mean, I'm not going to crap on you for that. I like international stocks too, but yeah, if you're maxing out your Roth and then you're putting the rest into your TSP, and you're getting the match too, so you're getting I think additional 5%. You're doing better than 95% of people. So let's see. Yeah, yep, it matches, which I don't get that, sadly. Hey, Strongman, been watching your channel for over a year. Please give me a 1 to 10 score here. Am I rating you now? Let's see. 30% is in individual stocks. All right, that's a low score. 2. Most of it is in companies with price to book of under 1, one of my favorite metrics. There's no one metric that works. And if the metric does work, it's probably a fluke. Because if a metric like that was so easy, everybody would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, price to books of 1. It's easy, bro. Everybody would do it, and then it would eliminate the potential profits you would get. I don't like 70% of your money in individual stocks, and I don't like the fact that you have price to book of under 1. PaySafe? All right, I'll check it out. Thank you very much for your kind donation, good sir. Let me finish this guy's comments and I'll get out of here. 70% of my money, if I don't do it tonight, I'll definitely do it tomorrow. 70% of my money is in individual stocks. Most of it is companies with price to book. Oh, I already read that. Others, 30% is in VXUS and DT. I mean, why do you have individual stocks for the US and then you have an index for international And then you realize VT is a global index, so it has US and international. So your allocations might be off a little bit. I think you're making your portfolio too complicated personally, but you got to be careful because if you have a bunch of individual stocks and then you sell them, you might have huge capital gains, which is going to affect your taxes. So before you make any moves, you should probably talk to a CPA. I'm at 152K, Foot Locker. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to do stuff like that with 70% of your portfolio. Hey, who's this? Who is this guy? Do you ever miss public accounting? Well, actually, Mr. Seth, I'm going to be offering tax services this year. So if you want your taxes done, by the way, I'll do it for you. I know you don't really have a lot of experience in that. But some days I miss it. Wow, you offering me some employment here? But no, I'm going to try to do some taxes this tax season. I'm going to shill it on my channel, advertise, see how many people I can scam. But some days I miss it. And other days, I get off at 4:30 every day. And I go to the gym, go home and make some food, make a YouTube video. It's pretty chill, So there's pluses and minuses. I hope you charge the crap out of your clients. Well, it's more than I got paid in public accounting. I won't charge as much as other people that I know about, but I'll charge a decent amount. I got to make a profit here. I got VT to buy. But yeah, I'll definitely be I'm definitely doing some taxes here. I'll call you if I need help. And then you can charge me more than I'm charging the client so I can lose money. Bird on me. All right, guys. Well, it's been a good video. VT, yeah. Put all your money in VT. Stop being bussies. Good, fun video. I'll do pay safe. Well, I may do it tonight. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I'm going to grab another beer, see how I feel. And you guys enjoy your holidays. Cheers.